Good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversation Daily News. Glad you all could be with us. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. Have a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. And in today's news you can use, yesterday I spoke with Dr. Michael Greger about his new book, How Not to Age, and how you can take charge of your health. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In national news, congressional leaders announce an agreement on spending levels, a key step to averting shutdown. Congressional leaders have reached an agreement on overall spending levels for the current fiscal year that could help avoid a partial government shutdown later this month. The agreement largely hews to spending caps for defense and domestic programs that Congress set as part of a bill to suspend the debt limit into 2025. But it does provide some concessions to House Republicans who viewed the spending restrictions in that agreement as insufficient. In a letter to colleagues, House Speaker Mike Johnson said Sunday the agreement would secure $16 billion in additional spending cuts from the previous agreement brokered by then-Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Joe Biden, and is about $30 billion less than what the Senate was considering. This represents the most favorable budget agreement Republicans have achieved in over a decade, Johnson writes. Biden said the agreement moves us one step closer to preventing a needless government shutdown and protecting important national priorities. It reflects the funding levels that I negotiated with both parties and signed into law last spring, Biden said in the statement. It rejects deep cuts to programs hardworking families count on and provides a path to passing full-year funding bills that deliver for the American people and are free of any extreme policies. The agreement speeds up the roughly $20 billion in cuts already agreed to for the Internal Revenue Service and rescinds about $6 billion in COVID relief money that had been approved but not yet spent, according to Johnson's letter. It is a good deal for Democrats and the country, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told colleagues in a briefing call. Overall, the agreement calls for $886 billion in defense spending. It would provide $772 billion in domestic non-defense spending, when including $69 billion called for in a side deal to the debt ceiling bill that McCarthy had reached with the White House, Democrats said. In more national news, the Pentagon adds new details about Austin's secretive hospital stay and the delay in telling Biden. The Pentagon released new details over the weekend about Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's continued hospitalization, saying he had a medical procedure December the 22nd, went home a day later, and was admitted to intensive care January 1st when he began experiencing severe pain. The latest information came as members of both parties in Congress expressed sharp concerns about the secrecy of Austin's hospital stay and the fact that the president and other senior leaders were kept in the dark about it for days. The statement, released by an Air Force major, did not, however, provide any details about the medical procedure or what actually happened on Monday to require Austin to be in intensive care at the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. The major said Austin was placed in the hospital's intensive care unit due to his medical needs, but then remained in that location in part due to hospital space considerations and for privacy. The Pentagon's failure to disclose Austin's hospitalization, including to President Joe Biden, the National Security Council, and top Pentagon leaders for days, reflects a stunning lack of transparency about his illness, how serious it was, and when he may be released. Biden was told of Austin's medical stay on last Thursday by Sullivan, according to three people with knowledge of the hospitalization who were not authorized to speak publicly and spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity. In more national news, Tiger Woods and Nike in partnership after more than 27 years. Tiger Woods has gone from Hello World to saying goodbye to Nike. Woods ended months of speculation by making it official Monday that the partnership between golf's biggest star and the powerful swoosh brand is ending after 27 years, a move that raises question about the future of both in the sport. Woods, in a social media post, thanked Nike co-founder for his passion and vision that brought them together when he turned pro. Over 27 years ago, I was fortunate to start a partnership with one of the most iconic brands in the world, Woods wrote. The days since have been filled with so many amazing moments and memories. If I started naming them, I could go on forever. And finally, in entertainment news, Oppenheimer dominates Golden Globes. Poor Things upsets Barbie in comedy. Christopher Nolan's blockbuster biopic Oppenheimer dominated the 81st Golden Globes, winning 5 awards, including Best Drama. If awards season had been building toward a second matchup of Barbenheimer, this round went to Oppenheimer. The film also won Best Director for Nolan, Best Drama Actor for Cillian Murphy, Best Supporting Actor for Robert Downey Jr., and also Best Score. Along with Best Comedy or Musical, Poor Things also won for Emma Stone's performance as Bella, a Victorian-era woman experiencing an awakening. Barbie and Oppenheimer, two blockbusters brought together by a common release date, also faced off in the Best Screenplay category, but in an upset, Anatomy of a Fall was the big winner. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Tuesday's episode of Words I Choose to Live By. While others may want to measure your worth based on what you have, show them how invaluable you are by being who you are meant to be. There's no price that can be put on living your life comfortable in your own skin and ready for whatever the world may bring your way. Never underestimate the greatness within. Instead, embrace it. Have an amazing Tuesday. We are part of my conversation coming up with Dr. Michael Greger in today's News You Can Use. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your News You Can Use. Dr. Michael Greger rejoined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his new book, How Not to Age, and what he thinks you need to know about how you can take charge of your health. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Dr. Greger, so glad to have you back with us. Thanks for the time.
I'm so excited to be back. Hope to help inspire some of your listeners to live longer, better lives.
I appreciate that. So I want to talk about the success you've been able to have because through the different books you've been able to write, Dr. Greger, you've been able to get us to look at ourselves differently, but also the importance of taking charge in our health. What has that been like for you to see that people are taking you up on what you've been able to share and being more active in their own healthy lifestyle?
Oh, it's been very heartening to see that, all the books in this series have become New York Times bestsellers. It really shows that people are desperate to really get kind of an independent, non-biased, objective voice and kind of cut through all the noise and nonsense. This new book on aging, reminded me of my last book on weight loss. Both dieting and anti-aging are multi-billion-dollar industries, and there's so much money in the mix. Anyone seeking even basic, common, sense, practical advice in either arena, living lighter or longer, is faced with an inscrutable barrage of pills and potions. I mean, even as a physician, with the luxury of wading, neck deep through the medical literature, it's been a challenge to tease out facts from farce. And look, it took me 3 years to sift through all the science. I'm afraid the casual observer would just have no chance. But the good news is, it turns out we have tremendous power over our health, destiny, and longevity. The vast majority of premature death and disability is preventable with a healthy enough diet and lifestyle.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversation Daily News. We're back on tomorrow's more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course, your entertainment spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.